Hello and welcome. This is Sahara playing Pillars of Eternity, the White March, and we are in the Goose and Fox, I believe is the name of this. And we are going to do some more talking to people here. An actress. The Final Swords. Everyone's a philosopher here. Patron. Lively place, isn't it? Okay.
Laying low.
No, it's supposed to be her. I know this is stealing. Yep, it's stealing. I don't need it. Sure. Bartender. Bishop.
Good day, stranger.
The man behind the bar is nearly the size of a mana. A handle protrudes from his back, and his face is set in a stoic frown. He gives you a small nod. Here for a drink? So he has a handle protrudes from his back. There's a tiny pewter cup in front of him. He turns it in one broad hand, but doesn't drink from it. This is a lively place. It was founded in the early days of Deerwoodian independence by a traveling scholar named Errol of Levy. He wanted a place where kids of all backgrounds could gather and hash out the issues facing their new country. He rests his elbows on the polished wood of his bar. It didn't take long for the place to fill up. Blackenberry aristocrats argued with the dock workers from the gift, while soldiers wrangled with politicians. Deerwoodians have never been known to turn down an argument. He takes a sip from the tiny cup. What happened next? Soon kids were coming from the farms and settlements, too. He waves at the door as if expecting a crowd to bustle in. This place got even more popular with the Valenian sailors than the saltine mast, and that was the problem. He drains his cup. No matter what people say about fair-mindedness and civil debate, there's only so much people will tolerate. That is for true. Earl found himself on the wrong side of an argument with the wrong Thyan, and when he disappeared a few days later, some said it was the work of that Thyan. He shrugs, spreading his hands over the bar as he surveys the room. But Earl knew which way the wind was blowing. If you ask me, he skipped town, hid out somewhere, hoping for rational minds to prevail in Defiance Bay. He cracks a wary grin. If only he could see it now. Tell me about yourself. Name's Bishop. Used to be a scholar of Barath. Now I run the Goose and Fox and keep the regulars in line. He ships and you see a warhammer strapped to his back. Oh, okay. What more is there to tell? So how'd you go from religion to taverns? The journey isn't as long as you'd think. It started with Hollowborn, and with this. He takes a black bottle from under the bar and fills the pewter cup. It was my sister's son. He takes a drink. At the beginning of Wadewin's legacy, he was one of the first. I never expected there would be so many after him. Tragedy is part of the cycle, but it's followed by rebirth. Yet every year, more parents were grieving for their Hollowborn children, and the gods were silent. So, you lost your faith? He leans forward, crossing his arms on the bar. Barath promises rebirth cycles, but the only cycle I found was this one. He taps the bar. I have a drink, have another, and another until I couldn't remember how I got home. Wake up, come back. I finally woke up one day to see my family had packed up and left. For all I know, they'd left days before and I just hadn't noticed. But they were gone, so I came here. So you became an alcoholic? I've cleaned up since then, not that I found my answers. He tosses the cup back. I've just stopped asking questions. Wow. Well, sometimes the answers aren't what we want. I'll order some refreshments. I can get a yellow lab? Why would I want a yellow lab? The small yellow lab seems singularly happy to accompany you, pulling merrily at its ropes. I'll buy a yellow lab. Fish, can't use. I can buy one, I think. So I think I've used one. And do we have any recipes? No. We don't have any recipes. All right, anything else?
Hail, traveler.
Can I get a room? I'll show you what I've got. Oh, so we can get better stuff here. Fletcher's Shea. Lasts for 2 rests, 1 athletics, 1 mechanics, and 5 ranged accuracy. That's the most. No, it's not the most expensive. It's Vixen's Burl. 2 dexterity, 1 survival, and 10 defense when. And 10 defense when what? Doesn't allow you to expand it. Sweet. Oh, yeah. Okay. Don't need it right now. Okay, that goes up somewhere. What is this? The Stegler's pelt is thick with dust and moss. The plaque below the beast reads Madden Balls 2682. Oh, so that's what it looks like. Okay. What are you doing sitting there staring at it? You see, a half-consumed L sloshed its way across the distance to his mouth, spilling across the stains of food long past. Glazed eyes glance at the brawl across the room, gaining viver as the fight extends through the room. Another L, he murmurs to the bartender, drowning his drink and turning towards the wall. He pulls a picture from his pocket, a painting of a young child, all brown hair and green eyes, and holds it above a candle. It does not burn. Unless later he begins to sing, the bar a mess of broken chairs and wounded pride, and they all listen for a moment before continuing their drinks, sieve conversations. His ache is felt through the room. His sad story reminds them of their sad stories. When he finishes singing, a silence hangs in the air, palpable among the smoke and the sweat and the yeasty smell of beer-infused exhalation. He is the first to break the silence, ordering a round of ale for the room. The general din of conversation sparks and resumes, but the mirth now is tempered with far-off memories and thoughts. Okay, so he was a bard or something like that.
Hello? Hello?
No problem.
So we got Hurdy and Dread Shoot something. Two-toned Wigsel. Scattered amongst such titles as Flora of the Living Lands, Unity and Disunity, A History of the Deadfire, and Treasures of the Kukin People are half a dozen travel journals held together with twine. Alright, are you a ghost?
Hail, traveler.
Two-tone Wixel, an Orland man, relaxes with his feet propped on the table. Patches of dark brown skin peek out from under a full mane of blue-green hair. He and the Orland woman with him exchange laughs and comments with the trio at a nearby table. And he spins a dagger in his hand. His hazel eyes watch you. You look like you've seen a night or two in the wilds. Joining us for a drink? Who are all of you? The name's Two-Tone Wixel. The woman next to me is Kay. We've had our fun with the expeditions, but we were hoping to enjoy a little peace and quiet for the next few weeks anyway. Dreadshot Dayton. The man at the next table nods at you. I'm Dreadshot Dayton. This is Hurdy and Ilpa? Alpha. We were part of separate expedition teams, but we both suffered losses and decided to band together. He ticks several items off of his finger. Beasts, barbarians, bailiwicks. It's a dangerous time to be an adventurer, but a prosperous one too. At the next table, Dayton raises his glass. And here's to many more prosperous journeys. Is there something else you wanted? No, that's all. I'm just talking to people. The Orland woman nods at you, a cup of wine in hand and a scepter across her lap. Okay. Death nods at you, a pint in one hand and a mace slung over her shoulder. Dayton is busy fitting a spur off of a small round bullet, filing a spur. A burly Amana raises a hand in greeting. Okay. And here we have some people talking and drinking and doing whatever.
And what does the flame reveal?
I know this is going to be stealing.
There, done.
No, I almost clicked on the wrong thing. No. What does this say? Old Vala, Southern Coast. Okay. You see a group of people standing on a clear path of earth, surrounded by several motionless bodies. On the ground, in the middle of the group is a small figure, curled up to protect itself from the kicking feet of the people standing around it. This woman is there, apart from the group, holding an enormous sword. She leans on it, using it almost like a crutch, hunched over and breathing heavily. She stares at the people and grunts, pulling herself upright and lifting the sword from the ground. She draws in a large breath, leans into a run, and quickly closes the distance between herself and the group. A blood-chilling howl suddenly explodes from her. The mob freezes, mid-kick, and stares at the terrifying bull of a woman now charging it. She jumps at the last second, bending slightly, turning herself into a projectile, flying into the middle of the people assaulting the figure on the ground. Everyone topples as she flies into them. She hits the ground beyond them, rolling, leaping back up, and turns to face them. She plants both of her feet and lifts her sword, surveying the field. Suddenly, she spins on her heels, swinging her sword with savage grace, cutting down the nearest of the assailants. Letting herself get pulled into the momentum of the spin, she brings her sword around, blade sideways, into the head of a would-be opponent. Sideways. The bottom of the hilt shatters his temple, and he crumbles to the ground at her feet. Sideways, yeah, so it would be the blunt of the blade. She looks up, rage-filled eyes daring the remaining two men to approach. After a quick sideways glance at each other, they turn heel and run. One briefly looks back over his shoulder, ensuring she isn't following him. She slowly lets out the breath she had been holding and walks over to help the figure still huddled on the ground. Good for you, getting rid of bullies in a previous life. How about you? You see a man standing on a dock. Sailors, soldiers, and prostitutes swarm around him, but he's watching the ship disappearing over the horizon. He should be glad his men didn't take his life along with the ship, but failure is almost as bad as death for a Balian, and the gods only know he hadn't fared any better in his family's mercantile business. It's almost a relief to see that last herald of his failure sail into the distance, sparing him the need to go back to his father and admit defeat once again. Besides, with sharp wits and an eye for opportunity, there's always a chance for a comeback. He pulls a flask from his hip and takes a long drink. There will be time for that later. He adjusts the flap of his eye patch and finds the owner of the brothel. He plots a new course for the evening, a grin on his face. So he lost his ship to pirates, I am assuming. Though it sounds like he could have been a pirate himself with an eye patch. You know, don't you know? Well, no one can see us if we're still here.
There, done.
All right, lockpicks and fruit. This isn't stealing. Why is that? Because there's no one here? Probably. Oh, there's someone over here too.
This won't stop me for long. There! Done!
Yep, it's stealing. Nope. Even though their backs aren't really turned to me. No, they're not. Let's talk to you first. You are a godlike person here? Dash? You see a grin slide across the face of a man and onto the face of a woman, younger still than he. She moves closer in the tallow light, sure and slow, tasting the anticipation on his tongue, the desire on hers. The candle gutters, sending yellow-brown lights sneaking across his multi-faceted eyes. She sits back, now all too aware of his luminescent horns and dusk-stamped blue skin. His otherness leaves her breathless, but from fascination or horror you cannot tell. He reaches across a hand, trailing the line of her jaw, sibilant whispers snaking through the air, tempting, cajoling. Something in her breaks, and his grin slides back as he extends his tongue to lick the curve of her throat, pausing a hair's breadth from her flesh. The thing we spoke of, your husband. I shouldn't, he'd be ruined, a faint protest. The man wags his forefinger at her, tisking playfully, tracing a line with the finger down the length of her torso, causing her to writhe. He stops it just short. She gasps, No fair. That's cheating. She pouts, childlike. Not if you make the rules. The man winks and he resumes his stroke. Okay. Seems a little odd. And then we got whatever over here. You see a firm hand scribbling notes from an ancient, surprisingly sturdy-looking tome, script precise, pictures small but clear. The monk runs his fingers across the paper lightly, page after page, searching for something. The script is ancient, almost illegible, but he perseveres, scrawling stacks and shelves and notes, transcribing the book into something more comprehensible. Suddenly, he starts scribbling hastily, eyes wild, pen a blur across the newly ink-splattered page. With a start, he pushes out from the desk and closes the tomb, sending waves of dust to coast about the room, and grins widely. He hurries to the exit, notes piled under his arm, and a new adventure on his mind. So he's a monk. And it looks like he's still a monk. What about you? You see a man praying soundlessly on the ground, lips moving to some ancient and unknowable hymn. Lying in his hands, his sword sputters into blinding white light, banishing the darkness around him instantly to lurking corners and shelves. He opens his eyes slowly, continuing his silent prayer as he adjusts to the new light. His eyes light with concentration. He stands and begins to move deliberately towards an enormous iron door, strange symbols inscribed on its rusted surface. His prayer gets louder, gains substance as he gets closer. Blue eyes burn with fever as the glowing tip of his sword touches the center of the door and slides through. White light spreads across the surface, symbols blaring into life as the paladin chants. A gentle tone sounds, ringing through the ancient structure, and the door begins to open. The symbols have disappeared along with the rust, and the paladin steps through into places unknown, bearing a light he is only now beginning to understand. Okay. Some of these are like, what are they really about? The pages of these old books are crisp and fragrant with the salt of sea breeze. Oh, we got a note. The most unfortunate tale of Baba and Barat, a Valian tragedy. Serene. Oop. Okay. So I think we've done everything here. just need to go down the stairs. I think we've done everything in this tavern. Alright, so that was our first building that we looked at here.
You're from
and-
Gilded Vale? Then you're close to home.
Close can mean a lot of things.
Surely you'll go back when this is all over.
Dunno. Guess that all depends.
Okay. So this is Vestistus. Well, you see a man cross his arms and stick his chin out. See, now the writing is getting worse. Moonlight and torchlight color his face. I mean, not the writing, but the editing. Bullshit. The elf standing in front of him wears a panicked expression. Are you mad? I've seen it. Aha. Uh-huh. The first man cries, raising a triumph figure. You just said you'd only heard it. The elf blinks. What in the name of Galvalian's beast does that have to do with anything? You said you'd only heard it. Now you're telling me it's a monster the size of Tuamana with blood-dyed fur. The man takes a step closer to the elf. And now I'm saying you're a liar, Doran. Doran sputters. Gods, Bessaras, who cares what it looks like? It's a rabid wolf. You saw what it did to the sheep. The elf throws up both of his hands, shaking his head. You want to stay out here all night to see the thing yourself? Have it your way. I'm getting out of here. Fine. All right. Good. The elf storms off, casting one last glance over his shoulder as he disappears down a hill. The man sets off in the other direction, a sword in one hand and a torch in the other. Within minutes, he comes to a broken padlock where a dozen sheep lie dead, their throats torn and their innards scattered across the ground. If it's not the work of a normal predator, something crunches through the dry grass. Biscara spins but sees nothing. He raises his torch higher. This time a rustling sound from behind him near the paddock. He turns again to see a wolf. It's not nearly as large as Doran had sworn, and while its furs matted with red around his mouth and paws, the rest of the elf's description has proven to be a rather lurid exaggeration. Typical. Beskara takes some small satisfaction in this, even while the wolf lunges for him, its jaws foaming and eyes rolling. I thought this is who he was. So, I thought we only saw their past lives, but this is him now. That seems strange, doesn't it? I thought we were seeing memories from their past lives, but we just saw a memory from... Alright, let's go. This seems like this is the largest area over here, so let's go explore over here. Now I'm confused. Which doesn't take much to confuse me. Oh, come
I'll
on.
see what I can find.
The Orland woman bounces up and down at your approach. Remember me? We met at Madmar Bridge. Paragon, yeah. She slaps you playfully on the shoulder. Thanks for helping me out back there. As promised, I'll give you the best prices in town. If it weren't for you, I'd still be broke. So she was the person, yeah, show me your wares. Camping supplies, rope and grappling hook. I have one of those. Arrow traps, tanglefoot trap. I don't use my traps like I should, I suppose. That's some of my problem. I got rid of almost all my stuff before, so I don't have too much. Okay. Igner?
Good day, stranger.
Egan stands behind a stall, polishing a broadsword. The patterned flesh around his eyes is crinkled with age, and the muscles in his arms are knotty and lean, but he holds the weapon with ease. He nods at you. Come to take a look? You won't find a finer collection of armor and weaponry in Defiance Bay, outside Solnid's, of course. He flashes a crooked grin. What's so special about Solnid? She operates in the expedition hall. He jerks a thumb over his shoulder. Sells the best equipment in the city, but Winden keeps her on a short lease, keeps her fine inventory reserved for chartered expeditionists, members of the dozens, and anyone else she takes a liking to. Let me see what you have for sale. A pistol? Wow. No. That's what he uses. He uses, so what would be better, an Erebus? Oh, the blunderbuss, very slow, 6 to 9. Ooh, but it's still very slow, but it's 22 to 30 Pierce. Pistols are small firearms, but despite their size, they require 2 hands to reload properly. They are not as powerful as Erebuses, but they can be reloaded much more quickly. As with firearms, pistols have the ability to penetrate wizards' arcane bells. So this is 24 to 36. It still says very slow. That's what he uses. He uses gunpowder. I don't want that. Sorry. A shatter. Warhammer. Okay. That's pike. Oh, that's all you have? Oh no, they got more stuff down here. Okay. Rope and grappling hook, pry bar, I got all that. Lockpicks I don't need. None of these have any kind of special ability. Oh, this has got intellect on it. So some do have. Probably the ones that are more, the ones that are more expensive. Pry bar, lockpick, torch. No. Padded armor, I don't need any of this stuff. We find most of that when we're fighting. Yep. Sorry, but no thank you. Okay, let's see here. You see a man stumble, knees bleeding, clothes torn, eyes dead. His skin is damp with sweat, but he pushes onward. His back is arched, defeated. At his side hangs a bow. Strings limp from disuse. He trips through the undergrowth, sightless, ignoring all but the sound of his own anguish. He comes across a deer, guts spilled across the forest floor, still steaming in the cold night air. A stegar watches him from above, perched on the trunk of an enormous fallen tree. Oh, so stegars fly. It takes the man a moment to notice his danger, and he seems almost glad for it. The stegar unravels itself from the tree, eyeing him carefully. Its distended stomach almost brushes the ground as it jumps down, and the man dives to meet it. For a moment, time seems to slow as man and beast collide. The stegar roars, swiping at him with his claws, and soon has him pinned, great yellow teeth and acid breath ready to end his intrusion. But with a wet, ripping sound, instead, the agonized stegar is himself gutted from neck to rump. The man exhales deeply, covered in blood, ponderous. Not today, not today. Okay. You see a dimly lit room with extravagant decoration. Pillows of silk, brocade covered the floor, surrounding a large velvet-covered divan. A man sits on the divan, his shirt untucked and only halfway buttoned. Behind him stands this elf, dressed in the same lavish finery as decorates the room. Her hips gyrate gently, dancing slowly around the man as she begins to sing. He looks up at her, burrowly, intoxication clouding his vision. He smiles, tunelessly humming along with her. Her words are too low to hear clearly, but as her singing grows more intense, The lights in the room seem to dim even further, and everything loses focus. She takes his face in her hands, singing directly to him, running her hands down his shoulders and arms until she is holding his hands. The man's eyes grow heavy, and he quickly succumbs to sleep, slumping backward. She holds his arms, catching him as he falls, and gently lays him down across the divan. She stops singing when his head hits the pillow, and suddenly the lights brighten back up and everything snaps back into focus. She slips her hand into his jacket, retrieving an item that she places in a small box sitting on a nearby table. She looks back at the man, shakes her head, and escapes into the night. So there's two of those kind of similar that we've read, where they were seducing somebody to get whatever they had on their persons. What's in here? Coca. Coca. I'll take the coca. And bacon? Meat. It just says meat. I just take it. Okay. The shields have been battered and scarred in long ago battles. Can we go up in here? No, it doesn't look like we can. As far as we can go. This says Admeth Den. Oh, okay. So we're where the adventurers go, I think is where the shields have been battered. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be several episodes. This thing is huge. And this is just Copper Lane. Okay. Of course, if I wasn't reading all those souls, it would go a lot faster.
This looks like the kind of place we could find allies. For a prize.
But we already have enough people in our... Yeah, mercenary. Most of the ruins worth exploring are our past. Most of the rooms with exploring. The Duke doesn't care about our illegal expeditions. The Knights do. We've heard. Oops. What happened here? Bandolier, a well-groomed man, steps through the hall with a confident swagger, a smug grin etched on his face. He is flanked by two other hard-looking individuals. Five other. I said two. 5. Yep, there's 5 of them there. One of his companions eyes you for a moment before spitting chew at your feet. Another pup comes wandering in, I see. Just know that Bayon's giant slayers run things around here, and you'll be fine. Never heard of them. His eyes narrow. You have now. Stick around Defiance Bay and you will again. Plenty of bounties to go around, but there's a reason the giant slayers get the lion's share. Remember that. A voice bellows across the room. Enough jabber, Brian. You gonna do the job or talk about it? This is Wynnum? His jaw tightens. Wynnum's right. The coin ain't going to collect itself. He looks at his comrades and jerks his chin towards the door. See you around, pup. Really? I don't like you already. You know that, right? You and me are going to have words one day. Yeah, we are. Mercenary. Forget the keep. Admeth's Den is the real heart of Defiance Bay. I've been on a few expeditions. Good money if you return in one piece. Oh, this must be where they sell stuff. Oh, this is the person they were
This
talking
won't stop
about.
me for long. There, done.
Do I get experience for doing that? Yeah, I do. 150 XP earned. That's stealing. I'm not going to take it. Sorry. All right, let's talk to him.
Hello.
Oh, it's a woman. That's right. The woman looks up from polishing a dagger. Haven't seen you before. You headed out with an expedition company? She raises an eyebrow. Or are you betting on one? How long have you worked? Tell me about the expeditions. They're groups of adventurers that venture into the wilderness. More than a few of them try their luck scouting the ruins. Most of them come back empty-handed, if they come back at all. Betting on them is almost as risky as actually going, but that's how the expeditions get funded, and every once in a while, one of the adventuring companies will strike it big and make a fortune for their backers. How long have you been working? She leans on the countertop and drums her fingers. Oh, a few years. I got in the minute the last merchant cleared out. She nods towards the main area of the hall. They've got new expeditions venturing out every week, so this is a great place to do business. And the dozens make loyal friends and loyal customers, so long as you stick by them. She taps the counter. The vendor who was here before me, they ran him out when he sold his best helms to a pair of Crucible Knights. I've been careful not to make the same mistake. So you let yourself be bullied. Okay. Can I buy something? I'm afraid not. See, the dozens only do business with me so long as I only do business with them, and they're good customers. She jerks her thumb at the door. But if you got on Ossic's good side, he could make an exception for you. He's probably training some of the new recruits right now. Okay. Thank you for the heads up. I figured he was the big guy. What's going on over here? Or is that her making that noise? Somebody's making noise.
This won't stop me from... There! Done!
I don't need it. I've got plenty of money for now. Who knows? I might not in the long run.
This won't stop me for long. There! Done!
I like the... Okay. Geological map. This map marks areas of geological activity in the Darwood and Grafen ore. Of note is a description on a cavern where molten rock flows within a deep chasm. Do I take it? Nobody's here. Who's here? Let me just go ahead and save first, and then we'll do it. Nope, alright, nobody saw us. Mercenary. So this is the big room in here. They were saying Orsa or whoever. She was saying Orsa is the one we need to talk to get favor. See what's in here. Got a book on Book of the Hunt. You got excerpts from the Sermon of Struggle. Why would this be considered stealing? The dozen, scarcely a decade ago, on the Ivan Dur Bridge, 7 men and 5 women fought valiantly to protect their homeland. They volunteered for the mission knowing it was up to them and them alone to prevent Sir Widwin from crossing the bridge. Okay. Since I can't take it because it's considered stealing. Daggers mark the locations of areas in Withian ruins. Notes posted around the map list bits of current expeditions. Sorry, can't even talk.
Why not? There! Done!
Nope, not taking that. That's money for sure. Get me killed. Oh, there's that one we need to speak to. Get on the good side. This is what I was hearing. The outer bands of this target are pocked with countless holes. Don't shoot me while I'm wandering around out here. Arrows are for practice in the expedition hall only. Purchase weapons for personal use from Snowden and no exceptions. I thought I clicked on it. The edges of these swords have been blunted for practice. I've been on a few expeditions, good money if you return in one piece. Yeah, isn't that true with everything? Most of the ruins worth exploring are out past. Okay. Knights patrol. Knights patrol to keep us out of the ruins, but who keeps them out? Good question. Let's talk to you then.
For the last time, Aidwig, keep your fucking blade up. If that dummy was armed, it'd have your head off.
The man watches the training adventurers with a disinterested contempt of someone whose skills are wasted in this setting. He barks at one of them. For the last time. Okay, yeah. Alright, we already know that. I'm looking for work. Tell me about the expedition hall. It's treasure hunting, plain and simple. Sponsors put up money, hire adventurers to explore the wilds, looking for ruins mostly. If they come back alive, they split the spoils. If not, it's because they handle their weapons like this lot in front of me, who might as well be digging their own graves right now. Got business with me? Any way I can get business? I can get access to Snowdin's merchandise? She only sells to friends of the dozen. Although, he sizes you up, I do have something I need done. Something that requires, he glances sidelong at an adventurer flaying away helplessly at a dummy. Competence. I was more looking for an expedition. I'll talk to him. Okay, what do you need done?
I was formerly one of the Knights of the Crucible. When I left, they kept my arms and armor. The arms they can have, but the armor belonged to my family. I'd like it back.
Well, why don't you just go ask for it back?
No. Oh, they'd like that, I'm sure. But I won't be going. Sooner be torn apart by dogs than give them the satisfaction.
Doesn't sound like leaving the Crucible Knights was your choice.
You don't choose to leave knighthood. The Crucible Knights, they may not be a real knighthood, but the oaths you swear are just as true. Still, turns out that even unofficial knighthoods have politics. You cross the wrong man, suddenly all kinds of accusations are thrown your way, and nobody believes you.
Yeah. Nothing more destructive than a crowd with the wrong idea. You're so right, Eater. So, what's this armor?
It's a breastplate. Not much to look at, and it's seen far too much use, but it's been in my family since the liberation.
I'll see what I can do.
Then it's Penhelm you're looking for. A low snake of a man. If he was to die choking on his own black tongue, it'd be too kind of fate. He kept it when he had me kicked out.
Well, that wasn't nice. He leans in close. I got word from a reliable source that Penhelm visited a forager in Ordic's gift right after having his soul lineage read by a cipher in Durand Row. Should you have it in your heart to find a way to ruin his life while you're there, well, drinks on me. Having his soul lineage read?
It's a requirement to join the Knights. They have to ensure a novitiate doesn't have a subversive lineage. If Penhelm's superiors found out his affidavit was a fake, his career would be over. Every novitiate gets an affidavit from Dunreed Row, and those are stored at Crucible Keep. If you find Penhelm's, one of those ciphers could tell you if it's real.
Okay. Signa scratches the back of her neck. If generations of Masuk's traditions are any indication, this Penhelm probably doesn't remember it. Still, a past like that has to count for something. I'm looking for work.
You want an expedition? Talk to Wenin. I just handle these mercenary shit shovelers. Adventurers, I mean.
Adventurers, I mean. Okay. So I have a quest. Rogue Knight. Find the heirloom breastplate. Okay. And then let's talk to Wim.
What?
Don't stand on ceremony. State your business.
The replicant man glances at you briefly as he scans the mercenaries milling around the room. Tell me about the dozens. Wim's expression becomes serious, the timbre of his voice deepening. Good men and women trying to walk in the footsteps of great men and women who came before us. We're a loose association of warriors and expeditioners in the Deerwood, not as fancy as the Crucible Knights, mind you, but at least we remember our roots. At least they remember someone else's roots and pretend to be like them, he means. At least they remember someone else's roots and pretend to be like them. Yeah. Your roots? The Crucible Knights take pride in having won the Deerwood's freedom 150 years ago, but we're the ones who protected it. Everyone knows that the Saints' War ended when the Godhammer destroyed Wadwin at Evan Drew Bridge. A lot of folks don't know how Wadwin wound up on that bridge. 7 men, 5 women. They walked out of... Oh, we kind of read part of that. They walked out of Halgod Citadel and faced down a god, held him there until the bomb went off. He thumbs the table. That's the legacy we defend. Some call us mercenaries, but we don't need matching armor and silky cloaks to remember our roles. We're the same now as we were then. We stand up for the people, first line of defense, whatever it takes. We got new enemies now. If it's not Widwin, it's his damn legacy. It's the damn soul butchers in Blackenberry making things worse on all of us, probably causing the whole thing one way or another. Well, we haven't gone anywhere, and there's a lot more than 12 of us now. We defended Direwood once, we'll do it again. Wim casually nods your way. His eyes continue to float from mercenary to mercenary as he speaks. What else do you need? Well, I'm looking for work.
Go see Osric. He's usually got something. You do well for him, maybe I can find you more.
Okay.
If it makes you rest easier.
No
I just
problem.
spoke to him, and he didn't have anything for me other than the own personal quest. Let me see if he says anything more now. I need to hire an adventurer. No. Maybe more than one by the look of you. I'll show you who's available. I don't need any adventurers. Okay. So we got more. Let's see how much more we have of this town. Oh, we still got a lot more.
Whatever
We got over
happens, at
here.
least we're out of that mud hole, Gilded Vale. I grew up in Gilded Vale.
Quaint. That's what I meant to call it.
No, you had it right.
I do love that's the thing I loved about Dragon Age Origins, was the interplay between the different party members. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of stuff to get into over here. I can take it. No, the shields have been battered. Okay, I already saw that. These are refugees. Excuse me? There are so few honest types left in Defiance Bay. I didn't want to come here, but my village wasn't safe anymore. You probably came from Gilded Vale, to be quite honest. We already know how bad that is. Alright, so I'm going to make my way around town, pick up some stuff. I think there's that one guy we're supposed to get into. That goes to the world map. This goes to First Fires. Okay, which is where we need to go. We have a lot of places. Oh, the catacombs. And this goes to Blackenberry. Okay. And that goes to the world map. Alright, so if you're enjoying, click like, leave a comment, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Sahara out.